Poems can be lovely and sweet, but I do relish angst-ridden ones. Don't you? Forward Poem by Amber Lee Carter. This is a death threat for no one, a suicidal promise to someone, a reaper's ransom note. This is slow dancing to the last dance, waking up to new millenniums and apocalypse, falling asleep to the soothing sounds of Armageddon and Revelations. This is Americana dreams wrapped in a mock Masonic scene, visions implanted by demons, Veterans Day and 4th of July themes, playing Superman and dead presidents. The only heroes worth honoring were often fallen. This is the mind bottled up inside, caged behind the skull, a madman's funeral procession, a joker's last hand. Angels die young and Hellions a little sooner. This is the poetry that courses through my veins, emitting a stench so poignant it could make you vomit. Secrets of a genius that you love, want, and crave me for, and I will never accept myself because of this curse that has been birthed from generation to generation of women bearing daughters to plant the seed in, to carry the burden of breastfeeding humanity. You want beauty, you want nurturing. Walk, crawl, or stumble to the threshold of my world, and I will adopt you as my own. I will sow morals and light inside of you, just so you can grow and leave me, as all children making their way in this world must do. This is putting too much value in time, placing too much dependence on stability, walking the fine line for a victory lap down a one-way in a narrow mind. And I don't know you, and I don't have to like you, because ignorance is bliss. This is because you say so, and I think not. So we argue about choice and reason, logic and sense, all too common. We conclude that we have nothing further to discuss, and there is not enough purpose left to live, and there is even less to die. This is holding on to a dream, afraid to wake, because what I need I possess in surrealness, and when I wake there is never enough to go around, no matter how thin I am willing to stretch myself. So just throw down, and we'll get this war over before it breaks out, and we are faced with widespread epidemic instead of confined disease. This is all the pictures and all the movies etched in memory, vividly, so I can revisit the lost parts of me, so I can reclaim what has been stolen, so I can buy back what was borrowed. This is misunderstood teenage angst, arriving 2 years too late, a quarter-life breakdown, rising up to rattle the weep season and make life worth breathing again. This is seeing you every morning and counting your strands of hair every night, getting lost in the sound of thunder, the song of storm rising from your chest, the hymns you whispered from a deathbed. I was kneeling in prayer next to the last will and testaments, final words and wishes, eulogies and obits, all dressed in Sabbath day best. Memorial service laid to rest. God, I miss you. This is soft lips offering a first kiss, pink bellies and rosy fingertips, hips and thighs better in braille, petaled surprise of tongue that reveals a moment non-toxic. You staring at me, finding the void in me, filling the space with relation. I understand your pain, so take me now because I need the escape. This is now and every moment in the center that I will love you, and this is tomorrow and every lifetime I will live, wandering the miles of your continent, never growing hungry or cold, taking shelter beneath your shadow. I will give up my cup so you can drink from the fountain of enlightenment, and I will lay down my life. You can bury me, harness my life force to fertilize the ground, so you can plant the world you long to see grow. Spread my ashes across the garden of roses to make it bloom, until everything you see is beautiful, but everything in the perception of your eyes is beautiful. This is the change, and never again, and what's left remains, because simplistic normalcy will outlive bold and trendy. This is a lover's letter to a soulmate, a prayer for a kindred spirit, a postcard from a friend. Sidelined by Myriad Dark. How often did I try to call you, even when it got so late? Too many times left to chances with no means of escape. My innocence says I'm guilty. That much is evident for the damned. There's a light, there's a verdict, here I am, sidelined and condemned, out of hand. My heart is torn and blistered. My head is spinning too. I stand before you persecuted of crimes they said I do. I'll miss you now forever. It never goes the way we plan. My innocence says I'm guilty. So much is evident for the damned. Someone always does the dirty, to escape any way they can. Sometimes we might beg for mercy when we're out there on the lam. But it's different circumstances when they've got you on the stand. My innocence says I'm guilty. That much is evident for the damned. It's hard to walk a fine line. I tried so hard to go straight. But a change in circumstances meant for me there's no escape. So I surrendered in the moment, going down the chain of command. My innocence says I'm guilty. There's a light, there's a verdict, here I am, sidelined and condemned, out of hand. Black Autumn for my silent mentor Edgar Allan Poe, poem by Frank James Ryan Jr. Comes the cold black death of autumn, harboring its peak on naked limb, stirring damp feral winds to the hawking, stalking, insidious squawking of ominous petulant birds, large pestilent birds, inexorably, ever circling, 'neath the late day shadows from a cold November sun. Come the crows, their angry eyes beating, the kind you felt breathing over your neck the first time you read The Raven, teasing breeze-spun tumbleweeds, rolling over dry cornfields, spewing. Threads and shard of stems and husk, gaunt signs of a harvest dying. Clouds bleed deepest sage and drape over tense, foreboding presence of dark-winged beasts in flock, fecklessly searching, hopelessly lurching, for any cynical signs that autumn had not yet abandoned them. Dark and black, blackest black, hovering over the last man standing. In the smoke-dusted cornfield stoic and statuesque, donned in spirited plaid, its cloth nor'easternly tattered, with colors fading as fast as the final stages of autumntide. He is guardian of the harvest, protector of the field, intrepidly perched over a cornucopia of autumn's end stage. And so hangs the scarecrow upon 6 feet of wood, weathered yet sturdy, trapped high in pose, arm limbs outstretched, resembling crucifixion. Comes the taunting of the beasts, their harsh kick of wing gust as each crow finds its place, precision arrow-flanked, with bitter sense and arrogance, playing to the wind, grieving on the death of the harvest, their autumn fast slipping, slipping away, to the smirk of winter's spite, spread in wafts of early frost, autumn's crystal meth. And the crows, ever bastards, take their angst to the straw man, obsessively circling, compulsively swooping, drooping, looping by night, their black eyes stab like dark tips, so piercing. Thus the straw man succumbs to a wind-flounced dance, and to the evil delight of its menacing prey, while winds southward concert choir of pitched soprano like fifes on air, tipping the treetops with ranged whistle and echo. Comes autumn's colorless death, bare, brittle, a woeful death, No eulogy be choired here, as winter's crypt seals itself, assuring autumn's air hath passed, away on Mother Nature's watch, ostensibly overnight. And the crows, cold and jaded, fly away as same they came, wreaking havoc south of Cottonland, till the April month when melting ice rears verved buds on verdant limbs of a spring awaiting birth and breath and renaissance. When they come, once again, they always do. I hope you enjoyed these as much as I did. Till next time.